You would think the thing that I hate most about moving would be packing. It's not. It's definitely not. It's the unpacking and having to get everything ready and just, it's like you stick it in a box only to have to redo it all over again. So this has to be tackled, but I'm distracting myself. I'm gonna do a load of laundry, and then after I'm done doing laundry, we're gonna go plant some seeds because I need to get some mint in the ground. Really need to at least do that. I picked up some seeds from the hardware store. I can't remember what else I got. I know I got marigolds, but those I'm going to put directly into the ground. I'm going to put those in between crops and stuff. So when I plant my tomatoes, I will put those in the raised beds. But the other ones are just going to go in the ground around all of my vegetables. Because all I've heard all my life is that marigolds keep away pests. So we're going to try it this year. I've never done it before. We're going to see how it works. Because last year, at least at our old house, the squash bugs were horrible and ate all of our stuff. So I at least want to prevent those. For those of you who keep hearing about all the cicadas but you have no idea what these things look like, I'm going to show you. This, well, this is what they come out of the ground in. Here. And you'll see these stuck all over everything. Usually trees, but literally everything. And here is what these creepy little guys look like. No, they're cute. They're not creepy. Sorry, bud. But this is what they look like when they come out. And I'm pretty sure you can probably hear, at least if you can hear, and I can't go that way, it's blocked. But at least you can probably hear the sound of them if you can hear over my fan in the camper. We go more into the woods over here. Oh, there's a little lizard. We have massive lizards out here, by the way. Huge lizards. But you can hear them out everywhere in these woods. And to be honest with you, when I first heard them, I thought that it was an ambulance, like really far off, and that the sirens were just echoing through the trees and making that sound. No, it was not. I was like, okay, that's continuing. What is this? Because I've never heard cicadas so loud. Like I guess, I'm sure I've probably heard them in my life, but they've never been this loud. The one thing I'm learning about having so much property is that if somebody takes something that you're using and they don't know you're using it, you kind of have to go on a scavenger hunt sometimes. Things like tools and stuff, there's pretty much only a few places that we're actually going to put them. But when it comes to buckets, they can be anywhere. Somebody might need to grab one for compost. Maybe somebody needs to fill it up with water to water something. Or, I don't know, whatever randomness. Kids want to collect rocks. Who knows? So, I had to go on a scavenger hunt to find my bucket before I can get to filling these bins up in the greenhouse. On our last video, I showed you guys how I was having to carry bucket per bucket over here to fill all these up. And that was really tough. It was hard work. And I was like, yeah, this is not gonna work. Thankfully, I remembered I have a cart all the way at the other end of the property. So I brought it up this morning. And while it's not perfect, it certainly does help. This is the only bucket I have right now. I don't know where all my buckets went. I know I'm using some for compost, like to hold until I'm ready to take it down to where it needs to go. But other than that, I don't know. I think people have been using the buckets, which is good. That's what they're there for. But I definitely need to invest in a wheelbarrow, that's for sure, because this thing does not like going over sticks. But for now, it's a whole lot better than carrying it bucket per bucket. Well, now I know that it takes 2 of these and 2 of the buckets to get these filled to where I want them to with that dirt. Because, like I said in our last video, I'm doing a layer of this dirt, and then I'm going to do a layer of that first bit of mulch that we got. I still haven't shown you guys the good soil that we have, but we're going to put that on the very top. That's what the plants are going to grow in. But I figure we could do like a layering method here, use up the dirt over there that we don't need, that's just sitting there in the way. So we're going to go through it, use all of it that we can, and fill these up. But it takes 2 of them. I'm reminding myself right now, with as hard as this thing is, because although the cart makes it easier, these wheels do not want to work in these woods. But I'm reminding myself of all the rewards that I'm going to get from this once it's time to harvest everything, and I'm all excited about everything that we grew. So just a minute to remind myself that my hard work will be worth it. For these here that have holes in them, I've gone around and found some of these logs that have just fallen down, and they're just rotting away in our little woods here. So I'm going to put those in place of the holes that we have to stop the dirt from falling out, and that will just help that stay in and just provide some more compost material in the bottom of these bins, honestly. So I had to take a little break from filling those bins to go to the dump and get that done before this evening, and now I'm having to go get kids from school. So hopefully when I get home I'll have more time to finish filling those, but our evenings usually get crazy because I've got homework and dinner and whatever else, and just spending some time with the kids too. So we'll see. I don't know, maybe I'll get them to come out there with me and join in on filling buckets of dirt, but it's probably not very fun for them, and they may not want to help, and that's okay. But for now, I'm gonna take a little break and go get them. I'm also going through this learning curve of learning a whole new town, and y'all don't freak out, I'm still in my driveway. But I'm also going through this whole new learning a new town thing. I've literally lived in the same town my whole entire life, and so coming here and having to learn everything completely new has been interesting. So one of the goals that I have for myself is to be ahead of the game when it comes to planting, and so far I am not, and have really never been. I have notebooks that I'm writing, and I'm trying to make a list of every seed that we possibly want to plant, so everything we want to grow, and I'm trying to make a list of when it needs to either be sown like as a seedling, or if it needs to go directly into the ground. I'm trying to do that. However, this year we are just kind of going for it. We're a little bit late in the year for some things we still have plenty of time for, but we are literally at the very end of April here, obviously, and we didn't get moved out here until then. We did get some stuff started before we moved, but a lot of things that we really wanted to get going, we haven't yet. So right now I am going to plant in these little containers. By the way, if you hear the screaming children, it's just my kids on the trampoline down the hill. They are not dying, they're just having fun, and my kids are loud. We're a loud family. It's okay. Anyway, but I'm gonna be growing some peppermint, and I'm gonna be growing some cayenne pepper. I know, I already should have started these. I should have started them like after the last frost, so a while ago, and I could be directly sowing them in the ground right now. However, we don't have a spot out here that is ready for direct sow yet. We have a lot of red clay, and we also have a lot of drainage issues, so we have a lot of places that would just get washed out. So for now, these containers are gonna do, and they're gonna grow or they're not. So that's just kind of where we are this year, and that's okay. And I'm pretty confident that they're gonna grow fine. I have no worries really with that. And obviously I will need to transplant these eventually to something else, to their own thing. I do have other containers for that, and that's great. One of the things they're working on, the containers that I was doing earlier. I have never grown peppermint from seed, and I had no idea how tiny those seeds are. That is insane. There's one seed right there at the end of that pot. Now I'm back inside. I didn't get as much done today as I wanted. I really kind of underestimated how much work was gonna go into getting those buckets actually completely filled, or the bins rather. And so after it was time to go get kids, I really just ran out of time. We had to run some errands, and then getting that done, homework. My daughter wanted to make a fun snack, so we made a fun snack together, and we just all sat around and enjoyed that. And now I have to get dinner done. But tonight when Irby gets home, he's going to start working on the goat enclosure and getting those fence posts put in so that we can get their area completely done, because we really need to get them home, because number one, I miss them and they miss me. If you don't believe me, you can ask them. But the main reason why is because I'm like 95% sure that Marley is pregnant. The people who had her before us were pretty sure that she was bred. And now, just judging off the research that I've done, and when I have checked to see on her and everything, pretty sure she's pregnant. I could be wrong. I could be mistaken, but I don't think I am. And if she is, I definitely don't want that stress on her when we move her here. So last night, Irby ended up bringing home some of our chicks that were in the incubator at my parents' house. And unfortunately, some of them fell in their water, and we lost 3 of them. But I get to go check on these babies this morning. I'm trying to see if they're still good. And we have them in just a tote right now until we get our full setup, because we don't have the normal setup here yet. We still have to move that over. But so far, I'm seeing some good movement. Oh my goodness. That's what I want to see. Hey, babies. They're all doing so good. We got to get them out of this bin, though. They don't have a lot of space at all. And I don't like that they don't have a lot of space. But they're eating. And they're clearly drinking well. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy you little guys made it. Look how cute. Nothing cuter. Nothing cuter than baby chicks. And then they hit that really ugly teenage chicken phase. And then they get cute again. I don't know. Maybe some people like that stage. But you know the stage where they just get their feathers in. And sorry, I came out here to get coffee or milk for my coffee, and I got distracted. Anyways, but you know how they have that, you know, just getting their feather stage. I don't know. I think they look so ugly when they're in that stage. So cute that they're ugly, maybe. Is that a nicer way to say it? Anyways, I am gonna go make my coffee. I have to reach over them to get my milk. So, I'm having to take a break from what we were doing outside because last night it thunderstormed really bad and there's like water and mud everywhere. So, it's kind of ridiculous. But also had to take a break from that because yesterday was Irby's birthday and we're celebrating today. And he wants a homemade carrot cake, which I've never made in my life before. So, I'm trying to get that mixed up and ready to go. So, hopefully it turns out nice. But, I'm getting everything added together, mixed up. I'm making the icing too, so hopefully it's gonna taste good. It might not look pretty, but I think I can make it taste good.
While Sarah's been up there making my birthday cake, I've been transforming a pallet. Yeah, so I started with a pallet. That's just going to be for the goat enclosure. Oh, this is the goat enclosure. The flooring, free wood. All these older looking 2x4s, free wood. The pallet was free. The only thing I've got invested is I bought a couple 2x4s and some screws. This morning it was overcast, so I came out here without a shirt on. I could feel my back burning, so she's gonna put vinegar on my back later. But, you know, let me show you the top. I got these roof slats, free wood. So we're gonna utilize some of the tin that we got for free. I'm gonna use the good pieces. There's a lot of rusted ones, but there's also a lot of good ones. Also had to buy the hinges and the lock. I think the goat will like it. I hope she does. This one's gonna be only for Marley, and she is pregnant, so hopefully that's enough room for her. I still got to do the fencing. As you can see, where is it? My one fence post, the only one I got so far. It stormed like crazy last night, so I'm not gonna even attempt to dig. But there's still like an hour of daylight left when I get home in the evenings from work, so I'm gonna end up maybe 2 or 3 fence posts tonight. So yeah, the only thing that's left for me to do besides put the roof on is I'm gonna have some wire right here and on the door. The rest is going to be covered up with the tin also. I am not a professional carpenter, but I think it's not on level ground. That's why it's moving. But also, I don't have power right here, so I'm using a drop cord. It's going to be a challenge moving it, but I got some hand trucks I'm just going to put on one side, wrap a chain around this other side, and just pull it to where it needs to be. It's not going to break. It's too sturdy. It's almost like that chicken coop. It's the same. I mean, that thing fits perfectly on a utility trailers. But when we move it to the property, I'll be recording the process of doing that. It's I don't build very light stuff. I mean, everything's heavy and sturdy. Oh yeah, yeah. These cicadas are crazy. I mean, I had my smock on my head to try to keep the sun off of me. These cicadas just kept on dive bombing me. I'm just glad they don't bite, they don't sting, they're not venomous. 2 of the kids said that they got bit by them.
They don't bite.
They don't bite. Oh, see, there's one right there. Come here, cicada. Hello, welcome to Langley Acres.
Is that our mascot?
Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, these things don't bite. I did hear a rumor that they excrete an oil that attracts copperheads. Oh. I don't know how true that is, though. Where'd that cicada go?
On the top of your head. They do put a lot of nitrogen in the soil once they die, though, so that'll be really nice for the garden.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if we find copperheads.
That thing just screamed in my ear. I hope that got picked up by the camera. That thing went. So there's a lot of small scrap pieces. We'll end up finding a use for it.
Fire?
Maybe, dude, I don't know what your fascination with fire is.
What?
Yeah, he's been asking me, is there any wood you don't need? Let's burn it.
Just like your brother.
There's that piece over there, you can throw that in the fire pit. even the small pieces, we're going to save it. You never know, you might need to build an extra, you know, nesting box, or quail enclosure. You know, you don't need it very tall, so small pieces, you know, it's just a lot of them. So we're going to try to utilize as much as possible with trying to get it to zero waste.
Time to add in a splash of vanilla. I always recommend using real vanilla.
Good. I got the roof on, I still just gotta take care of the sharp edges. Because I put the frame on the outside, I'm gonna block this in right here, because I don't want those snakes getting in. In German, they call that good and tight. What this makes me always wonder when I'm putting anything together is I always use power tools. I mean, it's very limited hand tools that I use. Hammer, maybe bullnose pliers for staples and whatnot. Can you imagine 1,000, 2,000 years ago being a carpenter?
Yeah.
They said Jesus was a carpenter. I bet he did fantastic work.
Tough.
Yeah. Whew, almost there.
This week has not gone to plan, and I haven't gotten nearly as much done as I've wanted to. I don't know if you guys can hear the thunder. It has been storming and raining, and just I'm over it a little bit. Like, I know we need the rain, but it's muddy and gross, and all these storms are preventing a lot of the work that I need to be getting done. But right now, I'm going to get the dog, our puppy Craig, and I think the rain is starting. Oh boy. No, maybe not. Maybe it was just the trees. Anyways, but I'm going down here. Woo! It's very muddy. That would not have been fun. Anyways, but I'm trying to get him before the storms start. He likes to be outside. He is a big outdoor dog. He hates being inside. And so I have him on a little runner. He used to, when we first moved down here, he did very, very well just running around the property, and he would stay on the property. This is before we moved here, like before we got settled in or whatever, and he did so good staying on the property, and I was like, this is gonna be great. He knows exactly what to do and where to stay, and he stays with us. Well, literally the first day we moved up here, you can hear him now, he's like, it's raining, but he ended up taking off and running after one of our neighbors, and they called the cops on us because he came running after them, which is understandable because he does sound mean. He's a little tiny thing, and I know little yippy dogs are like the worst. But yeah. Hey Craig. You guys can probably hear him. Anyways, but yeah, so now I have to keep him when he's outside. Either we walk him on the leash, I'm coming, or we keep him on a runner thing until we get some fencing put in for him. Because he hates to be inside, especially when we're outside. He wants to be right there with us. So we always have him outside with us. But I'm not looking forward to this storm. Can you guys? I don't know if it's gonna pick up. Yeah, it knocked down our little canopy thing there. It knocked down my son's motorcycle. It's just not fun. But I'm gonna get inside before it starts pouring, because I still have to walk all the way back up to the camper. Craig! He's ready to go. Come on. And the rain's starting, but you can see, Craig, you can see how much the water's filled up in the place we have dug for the footers. So that's fun. That's just all gonna have to dry out too. And it's raining now, so we're going inside. That didn't take long. That looks so scary. Well, maybe it's storming outside and I can't get stuff done outside right now, but at least I can relax in it, drink some coffee, and I can get some cooking done. I really want to get some type of bread made today. I'm not sure what type of bread. I'm nervous about cooking bread in our camper stove because I haven't done it. Like homemade bread, I was using my parents' oven before when we were there until now that we're here on the property, and I only have this oven until we get our house done and I have my kitchen. So today's gonna be a test. If I guess tomorrow, because I'll start to prep for the bread. I don't know, maybe I'll do a quick bread and just use some yeast instead of using Dolene. We'll see. I also used a bunch of onions in our soup last night, and I saved all of the onion peels, and I saw on TikTok that you can just use your onion peels and bake them in the oven, and that they will be onion powder. We're gonna test it out. I would imagine you'd have to at least have some onion in there too, but the one that I saw just used, the thunder has been so loud. It just used the onion peels. I'm gonna do a little bit more research before I do it, so that way I'm not just wasting. But if it is just onion peels, that's awesome. It's just another way to not waste these. But I think I'm gonna give that a go today too, since I can't work outside. I'm really, y'all did not just see that happen. I was literally about to say, I'm giving it a minute. I'm gonna pick those up and wash them. I was just about to say I'm kind of disappointed with how this week has gone, and I'm really disappointed with how this video has gone. There have been times where I was like, I really need to pick up the camera and record this, and I haven't, just because it's just been one of those weeks. It really has. And I can't believe that happened. Anyways, this video has not been what I wanted it to be. It's been kind of all over the place, which is okay. I know sometimes we're gonna have that, and things aren't perfect, life's not perfect, we're not perfect, and so I kind of, I don't want to pretend to be perfect. I'm not, that's not real life, but but I wanted it to be put together a little bit better than this. But anyways, I hope you guys still do enjoy this video, because yeah, it means something to me. But it was just thrown together a lot this week. But I'm gonna pick up these onion peels now and wash them and not cry over the fact that I just spilled them all on the floor. And then I'm gonna enjoy the rest of my coffee before I get to cooking. Oh man. Yeah. Usually I love hand mixing my bread, but I just unpacked my mixer and I'm excited to use it, so I'm going to use it today instead of using my hand. I'm a little nervous about this dough because she is very sticky. Also, side note, the rain had stopped, but I don't know if you can see, it has decided to start all over again. I'm putting these in at right between 200 and 250 and I'm gonna let them go for 20 minutes. I am putting a pan underneath here because sometimes the bottom of things like to get burnt, like I said earlier, so I'm making sure that does not happen. So we'll see these again in 20 minutes. So it's been 20 minutes and these are looking good. I am just gonna turn the oven off while I go get the kids and leave these in there. That way any extra moisture just gets out of there, and we'll check them to be sure they're done once we get back. Well, our dough is definitely more than double, so hopefully it's not as sticky. So the dough, it actually got a lot less sticky when I put flour on it. It's sticky again now a little bit after the shaping. Let's just hope it holds its shape and does well in the oven, but we're about to just cross our fingers and put it in there and say good luck. You crossing your fingers, buddy? I'm now very nervous to get the bread out of the oven. I'm glad I didn't set a timer for the amount that the recipe called for, because I would absolutely have like completely toasted bread. Again, I have to learn how to bake in this oven. Like, I cook in the oven all the time, but as far as baking, hello, hi, as far as baking, I don't ever bake. So we have kind of a moment of truth here. So I'm gonna flip it over. It's cool enough to handle. I'm not gonna cut it open yet. As you can see, it did get burnt on the bottom a little bit, but it's a very thin layer, so it's not a huge deal. It is, but we're gonna eat the bread. Anyways, I'm not gonna cut into it yet because it being so warm, it could still be cooking a bit on the inside, and if it is doughy, I definitely don't want to deal with doughy bread. I definitely have to figure out how to make bread and other things in here without it burning the bottom of them. I didn't really have that big of a problem with the cake. It had like a couple of spots where it got a little brown on the bottom, but it wasn't bad. But anyways, if you guys are used to cooking or baking, especially in an oven, a camper oven, give me your tips for not burning the stuff on the bottom, because this is not, I can't have bread burning all the time until we get the house done. I cut into the bread. It is slightly doughy. I don't know if you can see the one little, the one little spot there. That's a little doughy. Other than that, it's not. But that does kind of suck that it's still doughy, because nobody wants doughy bread. But I don't know. I'm contemplating flipping it over and putting it back in the oven for a little while, or maybe just leaving it like this and putting it back into the oven and just letting the part that's already burnt give. I don't know. I don't want doughy bread, and I want bread to go with dinner, and I'm not making a new loaf because why? I'm gonna try this bread. It's better now that I put it in the oven. I'm just gonna put a little butter on it and give it a try before the kids come in here and attack it. Yes, you can have a piece. It's still really good bread. That's good. It's over there.
That's good. I guarantee you, the whole thing's definitely gonna be gone by the end of the night. As soon as all the kids, as soon as all the kids see it.
I am a kid and I'm seeing it.
I know. How was it?
It's good.
That's good?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So I apologize for the lighting, but I wanted to close out the video letting you guys hear what we get to hear right outside the camper now, that all the rain has collected into where we're pouring the footers. It is, I'm gonna close the camper door really quickly, so it's gonna get even darker. But, listen to all the frogs. And there's like another noise. The only thing that I can think of that it reminds me of is a turkey. Don't think it's a turkey. But just listen to them. I don't know why that entertains me so much. I love frogs. Absolutely love them. And the funny thing is, like, they're obviously like super close. Like, I know there's gotta be one like right there, but I can't hear them at all. Oh, here comes a kiddo walking a puppy. Hey, buddy. But isn't that so neat? Normally, all the frogs stay in the area. We call it the oasis. It's like surrounded by really pretty woods, and there's like a section that goes down. We're gonna have our orchard over there, planted over there. And hang on, let me help the kid. Whoop. Hang on. I'm gonna close the door so he doesn't take off. But we're gonna have the orchard down there, but they're usually down there because that's where like water collects. It's like a little pond almost down there. And so normally they stay down there, but since there's so much water up here, they've moved up here too. So that's been a nice little, I guess, a plus to all the storms and the water being in here, although the water really needs to go, but it's a plus. But I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and give us a like, subscribe if you would like to also. I hope to have a better put together, more well planned out video next time, because this one was kind of all over the place, but that's okay. That's okay.